something. A fellow by the name of Barbieri. Private investigator. Prosecution hired him for setting trial.
Didn't he resign from the case or something?
He quit. He turned in his murder book, crime scene photos, list of evidence, but no notes.
Take your
You
mask
didn't
off.
talk to him?
Myron tracked him down.
What do you say?
Nothing. He was scared.
Of whom?
Of the people he was working with.
Mrs. Barbieri?
Miss.
Hello, is Mr. Barbieri in?
There isn't any mister.
Dominic Barbieri?
That was my father. He passed away years ago.
Wow. Maybe out at a yard sale.
That case always bothered my father. He never talked about it. He said he had to live in this town, you know?
Yeah. Do you have any idea where his notes might be?
Well, if he kept them at all, they'd be in one of those boxes.
That was a pack rat. He must have saved every case he ever worked on.
Wait.
What?
Found it. Look at this. Look. He kept a damn diary.
Who would have thought he put it in a diary, but he did. Look at this. There. A call was placed to an emergency operator named Gene Wall at 2:28 a.m. to report the shooting.
At 2:28.
That's right. She then calls the cops to tell them. They say they already know about it. In fact, they've got a cruiser on its way over the Lafayette at that moment. Yes. According to Barbieri, time on the record of customer contact was changed from 2:28 to 2:45. Yes. Son of a bitch. Which, if true, puts John Artis and myself at the nice spot. Time of killing is
Well, if we can prove she got the call at 2:28.
We'll prove it. We can prove it.
Mrs. Wall? Hi. My name is Sam Chayton. We spoke on the phone about the Reuben Carter case.
I told you I don't want to talk to you.
Mrs. Wall, please. You told an investigator named Barbieri that an emergency call you took the night of the Lafayette bar murders was at 2:28.
I don't know what I told him. It was a long time ago.
But there's a card that says 2:45 on it. And, you didn't sign the card. According to Barbieri, it was signed by Miss Lenore Harkinson.
She was my supervisor.
Why would your supervisor sign the card? Wouldn't you normally do that yourself?
Look, if there's a card and that's what it says, then that's what it says. I don't remember anything else. And if someone tries to make me testify, that's just what I'll say.
Look, Mrs. Wall. Thank you.
So this is a copy of the phone company's record of customer contact.
It's all there, just like Barbieri said.
2:45.
Look at the signature on the card. It's signed by Lenora Harkinson, G-Mall's supervisor. Does that mean anything to you?
I mean, she didn't have to write up a phony ticket. What? He signed it himself.
Who?
His handwritings. Whenever reported, put me in prison since I was 11 years old. Still a Pesca. His handwriting.
You all right? Yeah?
Damn.
Help? You all right?
Ruben, the law states we have to take our new evidence back to the original trial judge. And then if he turns us down, we go to the state appeals court.
No. Listen to me. These people aren't going to just let that happen. They've made their careers on my case.
What are you talking about?
I'm talking about lawyers, prosecutors, judges who have moved up the ladder on my block back. We don't even know what enemies we have out there in the state. We got to take it out of New Jersey, and we got to take it to the federal court.
Ruben, if you go into federal court with new evidence that hasn't been heard in the state court, the judge is going to throw it out, okay? That is the law.
Then we transcend the law. We get back to humanity. You said it yourself. You said if we take the new evidence before the federal judge, he's got to look at it before he throws it out, right? I believe that once he looks at it, he will have seen the truth. Having seen the truth, he can't turn his back on me.
And what if you're wrong and he does turn away? Then what? Then you throw out all this evidence that everyone's fought so hard to get. And you know what, Ruben? You will never be able to mention it in a court of law again. It is finished. It's erased. It's as if it never happened. This evidence is the key to getting you out of here, and you'll be throwing it away, Ruben, when in a few more years...
I don't have a few more years, Myron.
Leon, help me out.
I can't. I agree with Ruben. It's time to move on.
Now I want to explain this to you if you don't have it figured out. He wants to go to federal case, which means that the judge would probably throw every bit of this new evidence out. But what Ruben Carter's saying is that if he has a conscience, he'll look at it and say this is wrong, and he'll rule on that. Does that make sense? Rather than to just throw it out. He'll say, well, there's a grave injustice here. Injustice. And he'll rule in his favor. That's what he's hoping for. One guy's conservative saying we can't do that. The other guy's saying, what the hell difference does it make? Right? Let's take a shot. We'll see what happens.
Move on. Move on. Move on.
Myron, we're never going to get anything there. We have to go federal.
You can't take the risk of going federal with this.
Listen to me. I've been locked up and for 30 years. I put a lot of good people's lives at risk. Now I do it. Get out of here.
appear before you in our 19th year before the courts. Reuben Carter has never enjoyed a full, fair, and unforced disclosure of the facts to which he is constitutionally entitled. For 19 years, the truth has been hidden, not only from Reuben Carter's eyes, but from the eyes of justice itself.
Your Honor, the prosecution objects forcefully here. Counsel is attempting to present new evidence and circumvent the state court in New Jersey. Your Honor must, according to the law, drop this entire petition where it belongs, into the garbage.
Your Honor, we implore you to at least hear us before making your ruling.
Mr. Belloc, I hope you understand the implications of your action. That is a very slippery slope you're trying to climb.
We do, Your Honor.
Proceed.
In 1976, the state of New Jersey's chief investigator of this case, Dominic Barbieri, resigned because he discovered the truth. He discovered that this case was built on a foundation of forgeries and lies. Those lies show the guilt not of Reuben Carter, but of a corrupt police force and the prosecutor's office. And now this wall of lies has been destroyed so that this court may finally see the truth and pray God not turn its eyes away.
This court is not unmoved by your eloquence and passion. But the prosecution is correct. This petition contains new evidence that has not been presented before the State Court of New Jersey. And there is no legal argument that you could make which would allow me to consider it. Therefore, you have two choices before you. I can send this case back to the state court and you can present the evidence. Or, if you insist on proceeding,
this evidence will be lost to you forever.
Do you understand the choice before you, Mr. Belloc?
Your Honor, may I request a moment to confer with my client?
That's the smartest thing you've said all morning, counsel.
Listen to me. This judge is telling us as clearly as he possibly can that he's going to rule against you.
This is our last stand.
I'm begging you.
Let's proceed.
Your Honor, my client wishes to continue with this proceeding.
Do you do so formally? And are you aware of the significance of such an action?
We do so formally.
Proceed.
But, Your Honor,
Yes?
the state is not prepared to proceed to argue the merits of this case.
Why not?
Well, we assumed that the court would not hear this petition based on new evidence.
You assumed wrong. Proceed.
So, Your Honor, this case was poisoned from the start. No evidence, no witnesses, except admitted liars. Only a racially charged atmosphere, which was fanned by the police and the prosecutors, who knew the truth and distorted it and subverted it and destroyed it to convict an innocent man.
What more can the state of New Jersey do, Your Honor, than give a man not one, but 2 jury trials. And nothing has changed since then. Mr. Carter is, and always has been, a menace to society. He's been in and out of jail his whole life. A criminal. He's a violent man. His whole life has been violence. And it is our duty, Your Honor, to continue to protect the general public from such a man. Thank you.
I've heard your statements. I'll take them under consideration. Now, is there anything else that counsel wishes to add before I make my final ruling?
What are you doing? I want to say something. I need to say something.
Your Honor, my client, Mr. Carter, wishes to address the court.
Request granted.
Thank you. I was a prize fighter. My job was to take all the hatred and skill that I could muster and send a man to his destruction. And I did that. But Reuben Hurricane Carter is no murderer. 20 years I've spent locked up in a cage, considered a danger to society. Not treated like a human being, not treated like a person. Counted 15 times a day. I served my time in a house of justice, and yet there's no justice for me. So, I ask you to consider the evidence. Don't turn away from the truth. Don't turn away from your conscience. Please don't ignore the law. No, embrace that higher principle for which the law was meant to serve. Justice. That's all I ask for. Justice.
This court is in recess.
Come a long way, little brother.
Look, I just want you to know if this doesn't work, I'm busting you out of here.
You are?
Yeah, that's right. Busting you out of here.
What was the first book you ever bought?
Yours?
I think that was an accident.
No.
No, me neither. Lesper, short for Lazarus. He who is risen from the dead. Reuben. Genesis chapter 29, verse 32. Behold a son. You put those two together, Lazarus, and you have behold a son who is risen from the dead. That's no accident. Hate put me in prison. Love's gonna bust me out.
Just in case love doesn't, I'm gonna bust you out of here.
You already had it,
session. Judge Serkin presiding. Be seated.
This court does not arrive at its conclusion lightly. On one hand, Reuben Carter has submitted a document alleging racial prejudice, coercion of testimony, and withholding of evidence. On the other hand, Mr. Carter was tried twice by 2 different juries, and those convictions were subsequently upheld by the New Jersey State Supreme Court. However, the extensive record clearly demonstrates to this court that Reuben Carter's conviction was predicated upon an appeal to racism rather than reason, and concealment rather than